Are you ready for this topic? It was the most voted on when I asked for what kind of video you would like to see next. Sensory issues and sensory processing. Do you get easily startled? Some sounds make you have to cover your ears because they're too loud. We're going to talk about these issues having to do with senses, with your eyes, ears, smell, taste, and touch. So first of all, we have sensory sensitivities of people with autism. So you can read along with me on this. It says people with autism may also have sensory sensitivities. It's quite common and now recognized in the DSM-5 under restricted and repetitive patterns of behavior. People with autism may have one or more sensory sensitivities, and you probably have several. They may be hypo or hypersensitive to certain stimuli. They may be affected by a dog barking but not bothered by loud music. They may find all sounds aversive but seek out interesting smells. Sensitivities can be fluid and they can change from day to day depending on your environment. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about might be a little lengthy because this is the one I can relate to the most, and it's being sensitive to touch. Tags in shirts. Do you have to cut out the tags in your shirts? Do certain types of fabric annoy you? Are you someone that has to wear cotton? Can you not stand polyester? I mean, as a kid growing up in the 70s, it wasn't uncommon to wear like polyester fabrics, bell bottoms. Maybe it makes you feel agitated when certain fabrics touch your skin. Socks is another one. I cannot wear certain socks. And then I have to wear socks to walk around the house. I don't like my bare feet walking on the floor is another one. Can you relate to that one? Maybe you don't like the way things feel in your hands. This fork, I cannot stand it. I hate the feeling of it in my hand. I know when I sleep with a pillow between my legs, like a body pillow, because I don't like the feeling of my legs touching, skin touching. So I like to sleep with a pillow. That's another one for me. Maybe you don't like hugs. They say a lot of autistic people don't like hugs, or are not comfortable with hugs. I am not a huggy person. I don't go up and hug people. If it's close, immediate family, I will always hug them. But as far as strangers, I don't go up and hug. If they want to hug me, that's fine. Maybe when it's winter and your hands don't have lotion on them and they feel all dry, maybe you can't stand the way that feels. That's how I am. It just feels like it's a burning sensation. Maybe you can't wear certain jewelry because your skin is sensitive to it. Maybe your shirt has to fit a certain way or you don't like to wear it. Maybe you have to wear a certain brand of pants. For me, it's definitely a certain brand of pants. I have about 4 pairs of, and that's about all I wear. When I'm talking about wearing the same thing, it's those same pants. I'll give you an example on shoes. In the 80s, we had something called jelly shoes. And they were definitely uncomfortable, plastic. And then there were also another pair of shoes I wore as a kid, and they were like wood heels or something. They're like shoes with like wood heels, and walking on those was the worst experience ever. I have an experience where we went to a festival and there was this slide, and it had these rolly things, and so going down it was the most painful experience ever, and kids just kept going down it like it was the funnest thing ever. So let me know what other things as far as touch you're sensitive to. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is if you are sensitive to, if your sight or vision is sensitive to things. Like, for instance, are you sensitive to bright lights? Maybe when you're driving in your car, the car behind you, those headlights go into your rearview mirror and just blind you. Maybe you have to wear sunglasses when you drive your car because the light is just too much for your eyesight. Maybe just sitting in the sunlight just affects you. The next one, since we're going to talk about, is if you're sensitive to smells. I think a lot of people with autism probably are affected by smells. Things like candles. Are you able to have candles in your house, or do you find that when you light them and they sit in your house, the smell is just too much? My husband would buy one of these Glade plug-in things, And I would come home from work. As soon as I walk in the door, it would just feel like it just hit me. It's just too much, just sensory overload. And I just couldn't take it. I just went and unplugged it and hid it because I didn't want to smell that again. It was just too much for my nose. Maybe it's lotions or shampoos that are just too strong for you, and you find yourself trying to get the ones with no smell. Perfumes might be too much for you to handle. It's just too loud for your nose. What about those garbage bags with the scents? I don't know about y'all, but my husband gets those that have the scents, and every time you pull it out of the bag, that whiff of smell, it's just too much. It's just, then you have to open it up, and the smell is just very overpowering. So those are bad. Maybe for you, it's the smell of smoke off of other people. Maybe if somebody's been smoking and, they walk by you, you can catch a whiff of that, and your nose is very sensitive to that smell, and you don't like that smell. Do alarms frighten you? Hearing the sound of an alarm, does it frighten you and cause you to become overwhelmed? Do balloons popping scare you? What about doors slamming or children screaming? Do those noises affect you or overwhelm you in any way? For me, for sounds, it's going to be loud fire alarms. It's going to be balloons popping. I hate that noise. So now let's talk about you. Which one of these affect you? I would love for you to put in the comments, and so we can read what are some other sensory stimuli that affects people that I may not have mentioned, may not be aware of, that other people can relate to. If you would add in the conversation, please comment down below. I read all the comments, and I will respond to all of your comments, and let's join in the conversation together. We are on this journey. We'll be on this journey together, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.